So I'm 62 years old, um, and I've been playing the Bach cello suites since I was 4 years old, which means I've lived with this music for 58 years. And what I think of this music is that it's like having a great best friend in each chapter of your life. Now, what do I mean by that? It means that uh, a great companion, person that is there to help you go through sticky wickets in life. Um, uh, you need help to get through something. The music's there, and at each stage, in elementary school, as a teenager, as 20s, 30s, 40s, and so I keep asking myself, well, what is it about this music that is so helpful? And apparently, it seems to be that same kind of gives that kind of support to many other people who go through illnesses, people who go through exams and difficult periods of writing things, and somehow it's supportive. And so I thought, well, we live at a time where many things feel kind of fractured, and there's kind of an absence uh, of really constructive civil discourse, and so why not actually bring something that's we think has been very helpful, has been a unifying factor for many people in their lives, and to share that and to look for people in each community who are also helping, people who are actually and shining a light on them, talking with them, and celebrating what they're doing, because so often people who do so much helping actually don't have time to even recognize one another.
So are these your days of action?
Yeah, as to just start these conversations and to acknowledge what people are doing, how they solve problems, how they go about fixing situations that need fixing, and without necessarily, um, you know, speaking up for themselves. And what happens when you ask the question, what can we all do together that we can't do alone?
And Bach is the man who helps with that.
Well, Bach, music, he is definitely a convener of different people, and music certainly is a great convener, bringing people together. And why not actually do that in a way that has also a social impact element? Let me play a movement that Casals used to play when he was asked, if you could play any movement, what would it be? Because this is a movement. It's a saraband from the Fifth Suite, and and I sort of gave it a title of, this is the movement where you're struggling for hope. So you're down and out, but you really are looking. There's something there that's worth keeping. does take you to a pretty quiet place, doesn't it? And it's very simple. And this is what I love about Bach is that, see, I think of him as a scientist composer, which is really a strange way of saying, wait a minute, I thought those were separate fields. But what I think he has a number of characteristics. One of them is that, like a scientist, he tries to be totally objective, describing nature and human nature, the way he finds it. So without, without coloring, without bias, this is the way things are. But yet at the same time, I think he is totally compassionate to the human condition. So he feels your pain, he feels my pain, he feels everybody's pain and everybody's joy, the whole spectrum. And so between the two, he's narrating all of this. I know you recorded extraordinary works by Bach, the St. John Passion, and that's a great example of that kind of objectivity and that kind of subjectivity, but he doesn't put himself at the center.